Good morning, everybody, and welcome to this month's edition of Musical Moments with the HBCU Collective. We have no stranger with us today. We have a good friend of ours, Ms. Brandi Mitchell of KORIS Media, and I tell you, brand extraordinaire. And she is here to help us out with teaching us about branding and marketing that was happening way back in the day. And she's going to tell you about a special person in her life who she's done a documentary on and talking about the great city of Detroit, where she's from. This is going to be an excellent opportunity to find out what's going on this week in Detroit. Bobby's kids, Bobby's kids, Bobby's kids. That's all you've been hearing on social media. Brandi, tell us a little bit about Bobby's kids and what you got going on in Detroit this week.
Yes, so Bobby's Kids. First of all, thank you for having me. This is I'm at home. But Bobby's Kids is a documentary that talks about my band director, Bobby L. Brown, who was a Southern University graduate, who in the 80s created this underground musical railroad from Detroit to the South to HBCUs. And in his time, he sent dozens. At one time, he had 40 members of our band, all at Southern University.
Wow.
And so he took these inner city kids and he provided people that wouldn't even thinking about college. He provided a way for them to see another way in their life and opportunity. And so his story had never been told. He's this iconic figure and people love him, but the story hadn't been told. And so it's my honor and privilege to be able to tell the story. And we're premiering it this weekend in Detroit, my hometown. And not only are we premiering it in Detroit with the screening, but we're actually doing two screenings. And one of the screenings is is comprised of a band clinic with some people that I love, Florida Memorial
Of
University.
course, of course.
They're coming, right? They're coming all the way from South Florida, and they're conducting this band clinic with all of the Detroit and surrounding school, middle and high school bands. And we're going to form this large mass band, and they, along with the Roar, are going to open the film. So it's historic. The story is historic.
It's
And
a
I'm
lot.
just so excited to be able to be that.
Speaking of that excitement, I have seen the passion that you have had for this project. As you know, a lot of people don't know, I was able to see you film some of this project as you came to where I live now in Baton Rouge, and then hang out with Southern University and Professor Kedrick Taylor and some of his students who are also from Detroit.
Yes.
And I mean, you were very passionate. I specifically remember one moment when you were standing in the band room at Southern University and you just went all nostalgic because you were standing in the spot that you were standing in years ago when you came with McKenzie High School to Southern. Talk about that just a little bit.
Yeah, it's like, at 16 years old, my first trip ever, probably out of Detroit, was to Southern University. It was 1988. And I just remember going on that campus and thinking like, oh my God, all these amazing African-American students, and then going into that band room and seeing Dr. Greggs and seeing all these band members that came from my school that had made it, right? And
Right,
so
right.
it was like such a moment. So to be able to be back there and to be talking with Mr. Taylor and to be talking with the students now that are in the band from Detroit, and just to be back there after 30 something odd years, it was so surreal. And especially the fact that I was coming back also and bringing the Roar. They were playing a game that weekend. What was the odds, right?
Yeah,
They're not even in that conference. You know what
it's
I'm
a full
saying? It was
circle
like,
moment.
it was really like,
Yeah,
yeah, it was like crazy. My son was there, as drum major. It was kind of like, wow, look at what somebody's decision to play full out and do what they're called to do. How many other people are impacted for generations? And that's really what Bobby's Kids is about. We're all his
exactly.
kids, and now my kid, now the kids in the Roar and the kids at Southern University, we're descendants of what he did. Right. So yeah,
Absolutely.
music is the gift that keeps on giving.
And I'm just going to say that. I mean, the band life, it gives you so many opportunities much further than those four walls in the band hall. You're learning about how to deal with life. You're learning to be a leader. A lot of our doctors, lawyers, and all of our politicians and preachers and teachers all come from those same people playing those instruments with you in the college band. The exposure that you get just by being in an HBCU band or in a band, period, It's just phenomenal, and you're able to do so many great things. I'm honored to be able to partner with you, Brandi, as Selmer is one of the sponsors of the project, to where we can put digital content, music professor and other avenues of what we offer here, Selmer, in the hands of those students that are going to see the film this week. We're talking about upwards of 500 students that will be on music professor just because of the exposure that you're offering those students by coming and having an opportunity to be with the Florida Memorial Marching Roar and to be with Conn Selmer this week and to be able to see what Bobby Brown gave to the whole city of Detroit and the world just during that stint of sending all those students to college who did not think that they had a place to go after high school. And he made a way and found a way, as we were joking earlier, to make sure that those students got what they needed to be successful in life. I'm excited, Brandi, about this project. I can't wait to see it. And I look forward to seeing you throughout the weekend on social media. Make sure you post everything about it because we're going to be supporting you every step of the way. Everybody that's listening and watching right now, make sure you also check into the Facebook group to see what's going on with Conn Selmer Institute. We have Conn Selmer Institute at 2 locations before the summer, in Tempe, Arizona, and Atlanta, Georgia. So make sure you check that out and make sure that you come this summer to Bethel University in Mishawaka, Indiana, where we will have Conn Selmer Institute right there for everybody to attend. It's going to be packed. Make sure you get your spot early. Stay tuned just after this video so that you can see what exactly is going to happen at Bethel University, June 11th through June 14th at Bethel University for Conn Selmer Institute. Brandi, thank you for coming. You want to give us some parting words before you say bye?
Yes, everybody, the thing is like I said, man is the gift that keeps on giving. And how we spread that message is through movies like this. Like I think I'm the only person making documentaries on the band community. So support it, please. Share it. Tell your kids about it. And we can continue to make more movies like that because at the end of the day, we are all interwoven together. And we all have a similar story. I just happen to be the person that has the camera on, but we're all in this together. So we just have to continue to keep supporting so we can have our culture for years and years and years.
Absolutely.
And don't forget to go to bobbyskids.com.
Yeah, got to go to bobbyskids.com and you got to support this project and see how marketing and branding was happening back in the 80s, folks. It was happening back then. And you can learn some things from Mr. Brown and what he was doing to really bring notoriety and all the support to his community. That's what we need to do right now in our programs. I'm thankful, Brandi, for you coming on and sharing that with us. Folks, we look forward to seeing you clicking the link on to bobbyskids.com and let's make this thing happen. All right. Thank you for coming to Musical Moments with the HBCU Collective. Have a good week.